Hi, everybody. Welcome to the last video for Junie B. Jones is a Beauty Shop Guide. We're going to finish this book today, so I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. I think one of the things that I appreciate about reading these books when she's a kindergartner is it just reminds me, I remember what it was like to be 5 and the way she thinks and some of the things that she does. I didn't do everything as naughty as she is, but I could be naughty, ask my mother. But I just think she's so real. And so we're going to read the next chapter called The Terriblest Trouble. Have you ever been in terrible trouble with mom and dad, grandma and grandpa? It happens. I think the trouble isn't what's so important as what we do about what happens after the trouble. So let's see what she does. Let's find out in chapter 7. The next morning, I was very cheered up because I knew what went wrong with Tickle. Tickle has dog hair. Dog hair is harder to cut than people hair because people hair is much more tamer. I run to the mirror and looked at my people hair. I bet I can cut this kind of hair just perfect, I said. Just then, I heard the front door open, and it was my grandpa, Frank Miller. He was here to babysit me before school. I runned and kissed that guy hello, and then I zoomed right back to my room, and I hollered a message down to my mom. Don't come in my room, okay, Grandpa, because I want to get dressed all by myself today, and I don't even need any help. After that, I shut my door real tight, and I hurried to my desk. Because guess what? Extra scissors, that's what. They were in my middle drawer where I keep them. I open and close them real fast. And then I skipped to my dresser and I combed my bangs silky smooth. And I snipped their ends right off. I peeked at myself, kind of nervous. And guess what? I wasn't even ruined. I smiled, real thrilled. I knew I could do this. I knew it. I knew it. All I needed was practice. After that, I snipped some more bangs. Plus, I snipped some sides, top, and even some back. After I was finished, I looked in the mirror again. And I did a teeny frown. My bangs do not look even Steven, I said. That's how come I tried to even them up. Only those dumb things kept getting tiltier and tiltier. Finally, I got frustration in me. And I took a whole big hunk and I cut them right off. Ha ha, so there, I said. Put my scissors down and looked at myself. I did a gasp. Oh no, my hair was sticking out all over the place. Sprigs! I said, I got sprigs. That's how come I started to cry. Because sprigs are our shorty little sticklets, and they are not attractive, I tell you. Just then I heard a knock on the door. Junie B, honey, are you all right in there? Asked my grandpa. Okay if I come in? Oh, no, not okay, I hollered. I'm still getting dressed, and so please come back. Go back to where you came from. Oh my gosh, look at her. Let me put it on this side so you can see it a little better. Look at that. Man, she's upset. I think she's upset because she couldn't cut her hair the way she wanted to. I think she's upset with the result, and she knows that troubles are coming. Grandpa Miller laughed. Okay, I get the message, he said. I'll go make you a sandwich. You better hurry up, though. I've got to do some errands, so I'm driving you to school today. His feet walked back to the kitchen. I sat down on my bed, real upset, because Spriggs is the terriblest trouble I ever saw. Chapter 8 is called Hats. I didn't know what to do. How could I even go to school? Because everyone would see my sprigs and they would laugh and laugh. That's how come I couldn't stop crying. And then all of a sudden a miracle happened, and it is called I spotted my hat with the devil horns. It was sitting on my desk right where Mother left it, and that hat gave me a good idea. I quick picked it up and put it on my head, and guess what? It hid my sprigs. Hey, if I wear this to school, no one will even see my hair, I said, real relieved. Only just then I did a teeny frown. Yeah, only what if I am playing on the playground and someone steals my devil horn hat off my head, and then everyone will see my sprigs, and they will laugh and laugh. I thought real hard. I said, maybe I can wear 2 hats. This way, if someone pulls off one hat, I will have the other hat left. I spotted my shower cap. It was lying on my chair. I put it on under my hat. Yeah, only what if I'm playing on the playground, somebody pulls off my devil horn hat, and then they pull off my shower cap too, and then everyone will see my sprigs and they will laugh and laugh. I tapped on my chin. 3 hats. I said I will wear 3 hats to school because that will give me a whole extra hat of protection. I opened my bottom drawer and found my ski mask, because ski masks hide your whole entire everything. Put the ski mask on my head, and then I put on my shower cap, and then my hat with the devil horns. I looked at myself in the mirror. Now nobody can see anything, not even my nose. After that, I got dressed, and I skipped real happy to the kitchen. Grandpa Miller's eyes popped out at me. My eyes would pop out too if I saw that. Holy cow. She doesn't want to call attention to herself. I think the hats are a bad choice. What do you think? I think she'll get a lot of attention doing that. She doesn't think so, does she? Whoa, 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 you can't go to school like that, he said. That's how come I had to tell him a teensy fib. Yeah, only today's crazy hat day, and my teacher said we can wear however many hats we want, I said. Grandpa Miller scratched his head, and then he watched me eat my sandwich through my mouth hole, and he drove me to school. I skipped to room 9, very joyful. I sat down at my table next to Lucille. Hello, I said. It's me, Junie B. Jones. See me, Lucille? See me? I am wearing an attractive hat assortment. Just then a meanie boy named Jim pointed and shouted, Hey, everybody, look at Looney Bird Jones. Look what a goony bird, he shouted. Then all of a sudden he speeded across the room and he grabbed my devil horn hat right off my head. All of room 9 laughed and laughed because they saw my shower cap, of course. Only lucky for me because just then my teacher hurried up in the room. She took control of people. Her name is Mrs. She has another name too, but I just like Mrs. and that's all. Mrs. grabbed my hat from that meanie Jim and she gave it back to me. Then she yelled at all the children and she took me into the hall. She bended down next to me. Okay, kiddo, what's the story here? She asked. I rocked back and forth on my feet because I didn't want to tell her the story, that's why. Yeah, only I don't actually know what you're referring to, I said real soft. The hats, Junie B. What's the story with the hats? Finally, I did a big breath and I told her the story. The Story with the Hats by Junie B. Jones. Once upon a time, there was a little girl named Pinky Gladys Gutzman, and she was practicing to be a beauty shop guy. Only too bad for her, because her stupid dumb bangs kept on getting tiltier and tiltier. That's how come she had to cut them off, and now she wishes she was never even Pinky. And that is all the details I would like to share with you at this time. I did a big breath. The end. Mrs. put her hands on my shoulders. Junie B, honey, are you telling me that you cut your bangs off? Is that what this is about? I did not answer her. And all of a sudden, Mrs. took off my ski cap, and I didn't even know she was going to do that. No, I hollered, don't. And it was too late. Mrs. saw my hair. She hugged me real tight. Oh, Junie B, she said, what happened? I started to cry all over again. I like that Mrs. is being nice to her because she knows she feels really bad. She's upset that her hair looks bad, and she's upset that the kids laughed at her. I think she's upset that she's afraid of the trouble that's coming. Sprigs, I said. Sprigs happened. After that, Mrs. gave me some tissues, and me and her sat down on the floor, and we figured out what to do. The last chapter is called Learning a Lesson. Finally, Mrs. put my devil horn hat back on my head. Here, she said, this will be the only hat you'll need to wear today, I promise. After that, we went back into room 9, and Mrs. told a teensy fib. Boys and girls, may I have your attention, please? Junie B is starting to get the sniffles, so I'm going to let her wear her hat in class. She looked at that meanie Jim. All day, Jim. She's going to wear it all day, and no one is to touch it, she said. Not anyone. I jumped out of my seat. Yeah, Jim, you can't even touch it with your baby little pinky finger, right, Mrs.? Right, right. Right, said Mrs. Not even at recess, right, Mrs. Right? Mrs. sucked in her cheeks. Yes, Junie B, right. And not when I'm getting a drink at the water fountain, and not when I'm bending down to tie my shoe, and not when I'm walking to the pencil sharpener, and not when I'm just plain sitting in my chair, and not when I'm working in my workbook, and not when I'm practicing my alphabet, and not when... Okay, we get the picture, said Mrs. I smoothed my dress. All righty then, I said real nice. After that, I sat in my chair, and I worked in my workbook, and I played at recess, and I went to the water fountain, and no one touched my hat. After school, Daddy came to room 9 to get me. I was surprised to see that guy. Daddy, I didn't even know you were coming to get me today, and so this day turned out better than I thought. Daddy stared at my hat, and all of a sudden, my stomach did not feel good about this situation. He reached out and took it off my head, and then he closed his eyes. What do you think Daddy's going to do? What would you do if you were her daddy? Let's find out. Lovely, he said. After that, he picked me up and he carried me to the car. I tapped on him. Do you really mean it is lovely, or was that a little joke? I asked, kind of nervous. Daddy didn't answer my question. Instead, he buckled me in my seatbelt and we started to drive. We drove and drove for a real long time. And finally, we pulled into a parking lot. I looked out the window. Daddy, hey, Daddy, it's the beauty shop. The beauty shop with Maxine, I said. Daddy took me right inside. And guess what? Maxine was waiting for me. She did a smile. Looks like someone gave themselves a little trim, she said. I felt kind of shy at her. It didn't turn out even Steven, I said kind of soft. Maxine ruffled my hair, and then she put me in her giant spinny chair, and she sprayed my hair with water. And after that, she snipped and snipped and snipped. And finally, she put gel on my hair, and she blowed me dry. I looked at myself in the big mirror. Hey, what do you know? No more sprigs, I said, real delighted. How did you do that, Maxine? How did you do that? Maxine winked at Daddy. Years of practice, she said. Daddy leaned close to my face. Years and years and years, he said. After that, he lifted me down from my chair. And there's Junie B with her new haircut. What do you think? It's a little short, but she'll grow into it. And he gave Maxine lots more dollars. And then me and him drove home. After we got to my house, Daddy came into my room with me. He took my extra scissors off my desk and he put them in his pocket. Sorry, Daddy. Sorry I cut my own hair, I said. He did a sigh. I know you're sorry, Junie B, he said. I just hope you learned a lesson from all of this. Oh, I did, Daddy. I did learn a lesson, and I mean it. I mean it. I mean it. Daddy kissed my head. Because that guy still loves me, that's why. After he left my room, I looked at my hair some more. It was the cutest hair I ever saw. Just then my whole face lighted up. Hey, I'm the one who got this haircut started, and so maybe I can be a beauty shop guy after all, I said, real thrilled. I tapped on my chin. Yeah, only what happens when I grow up and I have to practice some more? What will I use to cut with? I looked at my desk, very curious. And then I tippy-toed over there real quiet, and I opened my bottom desk drawer. And I searched my hands all around that thing. And then all of a sudden, I smiled kind of sneaky. Because guess what? More extra scissors. More extra scissors. That's how that book ends. What do you think of those more extra scissors? Do you think she really learned her lesson about not cutting hair? I would hope so. I know I've read the other Junie B. Jones books as she gets older and she doesn't cut her hair again, but oh my goodness. What do you think of the ending of this story? Probably if it were me and I just cut my hair and got my hair trimmed and it looked like it did, and I found extra scissors, I would give them to my mom and dad just to keep me from cutting anything that I shouldn't be. But that's me. What would you do? I don't know. But anyway, I hope you had fun enjoying listening to this Junie B. Jones is a beauty shop guy. And I hope you remember, don't ever cut your own hair. You should always go to a beauty shop, or you can call my bonus daughter and she'll cut it for you because she does a nice job. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day, and I'll see you at our next story time.